This is Isanlu, headquarters of Yagba East Local Government Area in Kogi State of Nigeria. Isanlu is located in an area of 1,396 kilometers with a population of about 30,000 people. The people of Isanlu are majorly farmers and traders. Some are also miners because of the endowment of mineral resources in the area. Isanlu people are peaceful with the land yearning for development. Their prayers for development over several generations became a reality with the sighting of a multi-billion naira mining project, the Nasaman Gold Processing Project. Nasaman Gold Processing Project is powered by Nasaman Nigeria Limited, adjudged as Nigeria's first and only mechanized gold outfit. A fully operational facility has been established here with all associated infrastructure.
Nasaman began originally in year 2001, when the chairman began to acquire a portfolio of mining concessions. This grew until about 2011, when he had acquired so many concessions he became the largest gold mining license holder in Nigeria. But unlike other people who sought to land bank mining assets, he was more ambitious. He then chose that he needed to do something about what was in the ground, because you cannot say you're involved in this industry unless you have the ability to process what's in the ground. At that point, the chairman called upon a visionary private equity fund based in London, who provided the finance and the expertise. So we have artisanal miners who mine locally in the area. They bring their material to the site in these sacks. The material then gets taken to our mills, which we have here. These are stamp mills, and these are imported from Zimbabwe. The miners come using our workforce. They process their material in the stamp mills. It concentrates the gold material, the heavy material for them. They can then take that away for further processing, and then they can sell it.
Nasaman Mining Project is fully mechanized and includes all the equipment required to process every type of gold ore and produce smelted bullion as the final product.
Nasaman Nigeria Limited, as you have today, is a way, it's a demonstration that we can do it here in Nigeria. That is the statement Nasaman is making. It is a major step in reviving the neglected mining sector of the Nigerian economy.
Like before, we miners, we are suffering. One bag will spend 3 days or 4 days. We are using hand to break the stone. But we also use chemical before we catch the gold. But for now, we are not using that one. That crude method, we are not using it like before. And the money where we use before to do this crushing is too much. We are using 4,000, 5,000 for milling before. But for now, this Nasama, you will pay 1.5. Sometimes if you don't get money, they will tell you, say, mill, next time if you come back, you will come and pay your money, as far as we are customers. So we local miners, in fact, this thing helps us.
What is the significance of this project in the context of the development of Nigeria's mining industry?
Well, I think first and foremost, we've proved it's possible. We've made something happen on the ground here and shown that with the appropriate resources and the right attitude, you can get stuff done even in this challenging environment. We hope we've opened the door. But this should not be seen just as a commercial play or a feasibility study, but a bold step towards the formalization, if you will, of the artisanal community, because as yet they're a very marginalized workforce, yet they could be an economic powerhouse. It's estimated that they number 500,000 countrywide, but so far they've been squeezed out of participating in the formal economy and not harnessed. They work in appalling conditions, and despite their grueling work, they don't receive just reward for it. They're trapped because they don't have access to efficient and safe working conditions. They don't have market access, and they're often bound into a poverty trap by oppressive terms of their so-called sponsors. We hope that providing them with safe, chemical-free processing facilities, we can begin the whole formalization of the industry, where they can register as miners, cooperatives can get certification from the federal government, and they can start to participate as mainstream players in the economy. As we grow, we hope that we could add to the services offered at these processing hubs, like the one we've established here, to offer things like healthcare, education, further mining training, and make their lives a lot more tolerable and rewarding. Similarly, we're very committed to developing the indigenous mining skills base. As you will see in the footage, we've been training up a local workforce, and we're very proud that they're capable of processing using high-tech or relatively high-tech equipment. We also look forward to partnership with the tertiary education sector and believe this project could be used to provide that practical experience which theoretical academic courses just cannot meet. Already we've had a secondment to the site, and he went away with excellent practical experience to complement his studies.
Nasaman mining project started operation in Isanlu in 2011, and since then it has been a success story. What informed the siting of the project in Isanlu?
Isanlu was chosen because we conducted geological studies for a period of 18 months. We used a preeminent team from Tanzania and South Africa to look at highly prospective gold regions across Nigeria, including Zamfara, Kebbi, Niger, and of course Kogi. Kogi was chosen because there's an abundance of historical workings dating back to the colonial times. Two of Nigeria's biggest gold mining open pit operations are within 20 kilometers of us right now, Okulum being the headline asset. Also, it's a very peaceful area, and that's very important from a security perspective. And our chairman also had deep links with the local traditional leadership, and they've been incredibly accommodating of us.
With Nasaman leading the way in the development of Nigeria's solid minerals processing industry, the company is proudly operating a chemical-free ore processing facility in full compliance with future UN mining protocols, as well as accelerating the formalization and monetization of extensive artisanal mining population. How does the Nasaman address issues such as health and safety and environmental stewardship?
Importantly, we are chemical free. We're very proud of that. We don't use cyanide and we don't use mercury. Mercury perhaps being high on people's agenda right now. Additionally, all our crushing techniques, all our reduction is done under highly fluidized conditions, preventing the release of poisonous dust. And a lot of people will know about the tragedy that happened in Zamfara a few years ago, where a whole village was poisoned by lead dust. As I say, we crush under wet conditions, preventing the release of this toxic dust. Going back to mercury, mercury's particularly poignant right now. It's high on the international political agenda, particularly with the introduction of a UN convention called the Minamata Convention, which is seeking to eradicate mercury use in industrial processes. Nigeria is actually a signatory to this convention. so is going to become increasingly obliged to make steps towards reducing anthropogenic mercury emissions in industrial processes. We believe that this project is a significant stride to that end. Mercury vapor is highly poisonous. It's a neurotoxin which can cause birth defects, brain damage, even death. And the artisanal mining sector is the largest, globally, it's the largest emitter of mercury vapor worldwide, accounting for 40% of anthropogenic emissions. So anything that can be done to reduce that and stop the bioaccumulation of mercury in carnivorous fish in the lakes and rivers of Nigeria, that's a huge advantage. So that's another safety feature of this site, being chemical free. Finally, we insist that all crushing and processing activities are conducted using the appropriate safety equipment and always under the supervision of trained managers.
Nasaman was incorporated in Nigeria in 2009 with the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC). Net cash flow of Nasaman has been conservatively estimated at $12 million per annum. Management says the processing facility will be replicated across numerous states in Nigeria, and which utilizes exclusive distribution rights for the plant. How is the company community friendly? Talking about corporate social responsibility as well as employment opportunity for the people.
That's something we take very seriously. Obviously, there are formal compensation agreements when you're acquiring mining assets, and that's something that we've honoured. But in addition to that, we appreciate there's plenty of things we can do on top of that. Like we've dug a community borehole that's drilled in the centre of town. We've constructed a flood culvert and a storm drain for an area damaged by erosion. We've sponsored the local school football team with sports equipment, and I try and give toys and food when I can to the local orphanage, which is just a few kilometres away from here.
They've dug up to 2 boreholes for us free. And the orphanage homes, we are patronizing them. We give them materials and so many other things. Even our Royal Majesty's Palace, we dug a borehole there. And it's very useful for the whole community. And they promise that when this job is fully organized, that the town will actually, we will get employment and so many other things in the country. And right now, my people are working there now. All the security guards, everything, they are my people. And they promise employing more people later, when they are full force.
I heard that they started a company in Isanlu called Nasaman. That is where I'm working now. And I am proud of being a staff of Nasaman.
The quest for Nigeria to diversify from petroleum to other sources of revenue generation is on which the mining industry has been tipped. Nasaman is already contributing to this dream as the country journeys towards being among 20 developed nations of the world by the year 2020.
Yeah, from interaction with the operators, they can only process about 250 tons a day. 8-hour shift, I believe. In typical mines, you process about 1,000 tons in 24-hour shift. This needs to be expanded, obviously. So, it is my advice and my honest opinion, if the federal government of Nigeria can assess this facility with the hope of enlarging it, and the derivatives, are very evident. It's going to not only increase our GDP in Nigeria, but even the Isanlu itself. Our unemployed youth will have jobs. The local people will have jobs. because they will cater for their needs and welfare. So the derivatives are very extensive.
Diversifying Nigeria's economy is certainly a possibility because the country has all it takes to do so, with the federal government giving prompt attention to the mining industry. How would you assess the industrial investment climate in Nigeria?
I can confidently say, having been here now for nearly 3 years, that Nigeria is open for industrial investment. Yes, there are bureaucratic challenges, and I should add that these can appear daunting when the private sector is left to go it alone. I am aware that there is a large fund that has been set aside by the federal government for industrial investment initiatives, and I hope that, having led the charge in the mining sector, that the relevant ministries and the state government and even the federal government will have the motivation and the courage to draw upon these resources to further diversify industry in Nigeria. An injection of federal funds would provide the momentum. For want of another analogy, we have perhaps broken through the lines now, and we need the cavalry to come to make sure that momentum is maintained, and this is a lasting, sustainable development. I'm not sure that it's appropriate for the private sector to be relied upon in this regard, and I hope that very good things can happen in the near future. It doesn't need me to say that oil revenues alone can bear the budgetary burden in the short to medium term. That's been well publicised. Economic diversification is. With the support of the government, we'd really like to expand this project, replicate this across numerous states, and start the large-scale monetization of Nigeria's abundant minerals resources. That's my vision, at least, and I know as Nasaman that's a vision we hold collectively, and we're very much looking forward to further endorsement. It's an exciting time ahead, for sure. So to expand this place and conduct the expansion program, rolling a replication program out across the country, is going to require large-scale investment. Obviously, we've committed much time and resources to this project, and we're very proud of our pioneer states. We're very proud of what we've achieved. But it is going to take, to push this to the next level, it is going to take large-scale investment. I wouldn't say total divestiture, because obviously we have an interest here personally in terms of skill transfer, but it's going to need a public body to come on board in a full and committed way, should I say.
The Nigerian gold mining industry is in its infancy, and in the presence of such a sizable artisanal population and highly prospective land, the acquisition of this facility will secure a competitive advantage in a rapidly developing sector.
Okay, so this is a very high-tech plant. We have imported it from Canada, South Africa and Zimbabwe, and assembled it here in Isanlu in Kogi State. So the material is fed into the hopper here. The material comes in here. It is then scrubbed and sized in this section here. If it is too big, it then gets crushed on the next stage. If it is still too big, it'll then get fed into the grinder right at the end. That grinder will crush it right down into a slurry, which will then feed back into the hopper. So it is a continuous circuit of crushing and grinding until all the material is small enough to go through what we call the concentrator. Now this is called a concentrator. This is imported from Canada. This is a very sophisticated piece of mining equipment, and this will achieve an upgrade of 1,000 to 1. So if you have 1,000 particles of ore, you'll only get 1 particle in here, which is very important because this makes the whole process very efficient. This works like a centrifuge. It spins very fast in there under pressurized conditions. So only the heaviest material can survive. And obviously gold is very heavy. So the gold will collect in the spinning vessel inside this machine. At the end of the processing session, so we'll run for demonstration purposes, we'll run for a few minutes now. This machine is flushed out into a tray. We then have the gold concentrate, which we collect in a series of buckets, and then it's ready for the final stage of the upgrading, refining process, which we'll show you in due course.
Nasaman Mining Project is an answer to the diversification of Nigeria's economy.
They've opened the gate for everybody. Where we bought land now, they bought all the lands too. Because our people, they know say we progress. There are many beacons now there because they want to be nearer to the company so that they will be able to tap something in the future.
The sale of the facility presents a unique opportunity to monetize the large artisanal mining population whilst concurrently developing premium mining assets. Welcome to Nasaman Gold Processing Project.
So let's fire up the machine and you can see everything in action.
It is an innovative idea that is backed up with action. In fact, the man has a good vision for Nigeria. More especially when we have fall in our oil price, which we have been dependent upon.
This is a very commercially viable enterprise. But we also have another side to the business. It's not just commercial. We're trying to take a very bold step in the development of the Nigerian gold industry. And we do this by providing services that the artisanal mining population, which has long been neglected, can use to process their ore in a safe and economic environment. Yes, we're rightfully proud of our pioneer status, but we are seeking the endorsement of the federal government as we seek to expand this facility and replicate what we've established and we've shown is very possible in this country across numerous states. My final word. Well, it's been a pleasure to be part of this development over the last nearly 3 years, and I've enjoyed my time in Nigeria immensely. There are huge challenges, but the opportunities far outweigh the challenges at this site. I keep saying it, but myself and my team, my investors, we're incredibly proud of what we've done here, and we hope we have really opened the door and showed what can be achieved.